The one question we as realtors are getting quite a bit lately is, do elections impact the housing market? This is Karen Gore, your favorite Florida realtor, with the latest news. The 2024 presidential election is just months away. As someone who's thinking about potentially buying or selling a home, you're probably curious about what effect, if any, elections have on the housing market. It's a great question because buying or selling a home is a major decision, and it's natural to wonder how such a major event might impact your plans. Historically, presidential elections have only had a small temporary impact on the housing market. Let's talk about the latest on exactly what happened to home sales, prices, and mortgage rates throughout those time periods. Home sales. Home sales during the month of November, in years when the presidential election takes place, there's typically a slight slowdown in home sales. Usually, home sales are unchanged compared to non-election years, with the exception of being November. In an election year, November is slower than normal. This is mostly because people feel uncertain and hesitant about making big decisions during such a pivotal time. However, it's important to know the slowdown is temporary. Historically, home sales bounce back in December and continue to rise the following year. In fact, data from the Department of Housing and the National Association of Realtors have shown that 9 out of the last presidential elections, home sales went up the next year. The years that were not were 1980 election, where 1981 prices decreased, and 1988 election, where the 1989 prices decreased. All other elections, the prices have increased the year after elections. As far as home prices, what about prices? Do they drop during election years? Not typically. An election year doesn't alter the price trend that is already happening in the market. Home prices are pretty resilient. They generally rise year over year, regardless of the elections. The latest data from NAR shows after 7 of the last 8 presidential elections, home prices increased the following year, except during 2008 election when there was a housing crash. Today's market is different than it was back then. Mortgage rates are also another factor, where 8 of the last presidential election rates decreased. Bottom line, while it's natural to feel a bit uncertain during an election year, history shows the housing market remains strong and resilient. For help navigating the market, election year or not, let's connect. Have a great day.